أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hadith mentioned by Sheikh Imran Hussain that how in which is authentic hadith mutawatir that how many will be in the hellfire. So just because we are Muslim, there is no guarantee we are going to go to the Jannah. So it's those three things: dawah, hisab, to our ability, and the actual jihad. That should be our intention. That intention, and we're using nature to take it forward, inshallah.
I also wanted to mention, how when you're in the major cities, it's difficult because, in my opinion, they have systems in place to drag you out of the natural world consistently. Like they have many systems. They have advertising, they have television, radio, distraction, so many things that even when you try to rewire yourself, they have systems in place to get you back to their way of thinking. And for the da'wah part of it, here in Mexico, there is no Muslims. I have maybe met one so far, which to me, I'm an optimistic person. I look at it as you're starting from scratch. It's, you have a better opportunity than to change current Muslims' way of thinking. So what my strategy is here is to try to give more than I receive. So whether it's knowledge or information or anything in that matter, so I was just discussing with a person here about Islam, but not in a way of directly about Islam, but I was just discussing with that person how God is so close to everyone, and how anybody could talk to God, Allah Azza wa Jal, in any way, in any language. And that's why I believe when you mentioned the trees, the trees, they have so much information, just like us humans, right? You see a person from the outside, but you don't know his roots, how deep they go, his habits, his thinking. And if we remember that, like every time I have a struggle personally in my family or something, I always remember the tree. It's not easy to move a tree, but you have to just understand that the tree is rooted, and you have to just keep that in mind. It gives you the patience and to provide more than you receive. And I think, inshallah, that would be the way to success. May Allah accept our efforts. And for anybody that wants to make hijrah, for me, I was deeply rooted in Chicago. Impossible for me to leave with my businesses and everything. And when I made niyyah and I made istikhara, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made impossible things happen that you wouldn't, if I tell you guys, you wouldn't believe it. So that's why I always say, don't underestimate the power of Allah. He controls everything. He controls the leaves on every tree and the birds and the flies and the ants. Don't think a little issue in the dunya is a big deal to Allah Azza wa Jal. We just have to, like you said, make the hijrah inside, and Allah Azza wa Jal, He will solve the rest. Wallahu a'lam.
Sorry, brother, I'm going to have to ask a question now that you've said that, if that's okay. See, I'm always thinking that I need to wait until this is done or that is done, or until I've maybe earned this final bit of money, or until this project is finished, or until something like that. Could you tell me how messy your move was? Maybe that will help me.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. And from my research, I picked Mexico for a long time even though I'm from Palestine and my family's in Jordan. But after I went and traveled there, I found that there isn't freedom there, to do what you want to do. So I had the same struggles as everybody else. I always said, I need this much money or this much, this. But when COVID happened, it was like a green light. Like, you don't know. What is it? There is no perfect time. There is no perfect amount in the bank. There is no such thing. It's just about coming to peace with yourself and accepting the fact that Rabbna is the one that irzaqs the bird inside the egg. So we don't have nothing to worry about. You know, we have nature is all around us. Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to take care of everything. The problem is we just put these burdens on ourselves. And that was one of the things, because I've been wanting to do this, but when COVID happened, it was just like a red line for me, where I didn't want to, move on in this society that I was living in anymore. So I wasn't in the perfect situation, but I want to tell everybody that Allah Azza wa Jal made it so easy that even if I planned for it, it wouldn't have been this easy. So if you make the intention, wallahu alam, Allah solves all the problems.
الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان